He is a pass out from NIT Tiruchirappalli. He has been a part of various significant projects such as performance analysis and enhancement of radio over free space optical communication system for 5G application. He has worked on 29 international journals. He has also been a part of various international conferences. So I would now like to invite him to the stage. Sir, please.
And my close friend, Dr. Lakshman, and all for providing this wonderful opportunity. Particularly first day, it's like opener, another treated like that. Okay, anyway, fine. So thank you so much. So I would like to discuss about the topic of free space optical communication and overview. And thank you so much for the kind introduction also. So actually, with NIT Surat, we are doing a lot of research activities in this field, free space optics. Even, for example, senior most professors, Dr. Sripati is currently RNC Dean over there, and Professor Kulkarni already had one funded project, almost 1 crore project on this free space optics. In real time, they implemented this free space optical communication. They transmitted data, internet signal from one building to another building. Yes, students, actually I want to mention one thing, like for example, if any male or female or some people, they are speaking lonely, what do you think about them? They are mad, something like that, isn't it? So if you speak like alone, it's looking like mad. So actually the thing is, even otherwise this environment looking like class, regular class environment, like teachers coming, giving some lecture. So I want more interaction. Then it will be good actually. Not technical questions, don't worry. Simple, just fun kind of thing. Then only these 5 days it will be easy. Otherwise sitting 5 days it's little bit difficult, isn't it? Actually this first, just 1 hour I prepared based on the students. But it's my pleasure to find reputed professors. But definitely after lunch, you can find more details and we will have a very good technical discussion too. So what is the specialty about? But these are also relevant, don't think irrelevant. We'll make the continuity and connectivity, you can find it. So what is the specialty about GCET? Yeah, excellent. Exploring new approach and new ideas. Yes? Any other things? We have chosen this institute. So what is the specialty? I want some more answers. Yes? Yes? Any other? Please go that side. Okay, fine. You think about yourself anyway. So just according to me, from my side, when I check the website, this is the top institute out of 25 institutes in India, isn't it? Excellent. But according to me, this is a very nice locality, very good connectivity is there, including transport. I think Wi-Fi connectivity also is there in this area. Thank you. And beautiful places around, isn't it? What are the places near around it? Yes? Yeah, please. Yeah. Okay, fine. Like beautiful rivers, Ganga is one side, Yamuna is there, and Taj Mahal is there, Red Fort, Akshadam. So many places are there, isn't it? I think I hope you visited all the places. Particularly Taj Mahal, you know the history of Taj Mahal, isn't it? If you want to realize the value actually, this I taken from Wikipedia only. Taj Mahal, you know, one of the wonders of the world. So you know that 11 years they took to construct the Taj Mahal. 11 years, see, you think about this not easy thing. Actually not going, visit the places, taking picture, put it in FB or WhatsApp, getting some likes. This actually you just think about it. In 16th century itself, water put their plants, how they plant. 11 years they showed their patience to construct such a wonderful, isn't it? So like that, in that way we have to think actually. Okay, fine. And see, in 1653 itself, 27 floors Okay. Nice. It's excellent. I'm looking for some answers from that side. Yes? Okay, fine. Actually, I did my PhD from NIT Trichy. Not only this GCED, many of the institutes, the college lives, particularly students' life, even in NIT Trichy we put one T-shirt also for a function, celebration. In that we put some life cycle at NIT Trichy. You know that, see, wake up at late morning, skip breakfast, late to the classes, then WhatsApp and Facebook, even including class, some lectures going on, below the table, yes. Heavy lunch done, after lunch what? Sleep. Even today also I will expect afternoon lecture you should sleep. So that, anyway, see, okay fine, sleep in class, again what? Same as it is, WhatsApp, Facebook, then sleep at late night. This is the regular life, isn't it? This student's life nowadays. See, you know one more thing, interesting thing actually. This is very important thing, you have to think about it actually. You know, most of the inventions, the inventors, they invented the things during the age 20 to 30. So that is, you know, Dr. Abdul Kalam said, India will become developed country in 2020. What is the reason behind that? Huge manpower. India is the large population country, isn't it? Particularly youngsters compared to world. The world, India only having more number of youngsters. So he keep it in the mind. That's why he said India will become developed country in 2020. See, you know, youngsters are very important actually. So in this age 20 to 30 only you can do so many inventions. You can contribute to the society, to the world, or to the institute, or to the home, whatever it is. So this is very essential. So this age how you are utilizing, that is very important thing. Okay, not this is very important. Enjoyment is very important. Apart from that, this is also very important. Just think about it, this side. Okay? So just I'm making some. Don't, okay, you'll enter into that. Okay? So, okay, fine. So this is normal thing. And really I'm very happy to be here and present this lecture in front of you. Particularly in this topic. What is this topic? Free space optics. Isn't it? Actually, you know, this, my life, this career, everything given by this field, free space optical communication. That's why I am very happy to deliver the lecture in this topic. Today I am standing here means the reason is nothing but God, parents, that others there. Apart from that, this area, free space optical communication. Over the discussion you can understand the importance of free space optical communication. So really I am very happy. And this, take the title, Development in Optical Communication and Antenna Technology. This is very important actually. See, in day-to-day life, you are fully involved with this optical communication as well as antennas. So where you are using optical communication? But the thing is, we are not ready to realize the things actually. See, for example, how we can see the object. See, for example, I am standing here, I am looking all you. So you are visible to me, these jars are visible to me, AC. How it is visible to me? Because light is not the total level, nothing is visible to me. Isn't it? So light falls on all the objects surrounded by here. So it reflects in all the direction. The reflected signals is collected by my eyes. Again, these eyes have nerves. The nerves convert this light signal into electrical signal. It will reaches my brain. Isn't it? So see, this is an optical communication. See, I am speaking to you. How I am speaking? I am the transmitter. You people are the receiver. So this is a communication. See, I am having 2 ears. Why I am having 2 ears? Anytime you think like that, why we have 2 ears? See, this is like nothing but antenna, receiving antenna. You have seen now parabolic reflector antenna. Everybody home nowadays we are using DTH. What is the shape of DTH? Like this. So that is parabolic reflector antenna. That is reflector only. The set focal point you can find a small piece. That is nothing but really antenna. So we have why 2 ears? Get keep it 1 ear. Actually, again, this speaking, I am speaking means this signal is falls on all the walls, surrounded areas. It reflected. The reflected signals are collected by this you can hear the things. And why this kind of shape again? See, DTH antenna is like parabolic shape. Why you are having some spiral kind of structure on top? What is the reason? See, this can collect even low frequency signal also. Another thing, this only people are applying in research. Those are working in antenna and some other structure based research. They can understand. People are introducing this spiral structure there also to collect lower frequency. So everything is meaningful. All the invention, all the research coming from where? Nature. So when that's only I want to touch. I want to spend this complete 1 hour on with respect to this point of view. Then we will move to this phase of development. Okay, fine. So many things are there. We'll see it interesting. Okay, fine. I have few questions. Like interactive section. Okay, fine. So why are you attending this 1 week training program? Just for compulsion or something? Getting certificate? What is the reason? Why you are here? No, just my focus is, since it's the first day, first session, really I want to create interest about this workshop. For that I am going to take this 1 hour. This effect you will be attend throughout this week. I hope we'll see. Okay, I'll get that from sir later. Okay, fine. So, why are you attending this workshop? Okay, let me think. And coming to this one, you know that one survey is telling concentrating on one thing is more than 20 minutes is not at all possible. Any human being, 20 minutes you can concentrate on something. You know that this is a old data, not new data. So if you take 20 years back, 10 years back, human mind can concentrate on one thing, 20 minutes. Then later it became 8 minutes. Nowadays it's 5 minutes, it's a very tough. Physically we can sit here, but mentally we'll think about what happened, India just match, India, South Africa, what is our lunch, what his friend is doing, he going somewhere, he is working in class, I am struggling here like that. Isn't it? Okay, fine. So 5 minutes is a very tough part. So how you are going to attend to this 5 days workshop? Is it possible? Yes, possible? Yeah, I'm telling it's possible. When it is possible? Yeah, excellent. If you session is like interesting and interactive, then definitely you will sit there. Then any other idea? Huh? Is brilliant, yeah. That's why many of the workshops having action session. Simply keep on speaking about something is nothing work. Even one story also you can tell. See, like if I want to know the taste of sugar, so I am reading 1,000 books about the taste of sugar. Can I realize that? No. Instead of that, I am drawing picture. Okay, sugar is like this, like this, like this. 1,000 pieces will be the white color, very minimal size. Can you realize? Instead of that, you see it. Take 1 spoon of sugar, put it in your mouth, then you can realize. So answer is very important. Even when proverb also is there. I read, I forget, I write, I remember, I did, I understand. So that's why even why engineering disciplines are in laboratory. Only theory class, why we have laboratory? What are the things you are studying in theoretically that you have to do experiment? Then only you can understand the concept. You know one more thing, unless otherwise if you won't do research, you cannot understand any topic. That is the reality. If you are doing research in particular domain, then only you can get the basic concepts, you can understand the subject. Okay, fine. So any other idea? Yeah, even very good. Any other suggestion when we can take it as for this workshop? See again, youngsters, you know that the generation, reality, if you take teachers compared to us, you are brilliant. If you take the next generation will be the brilliant thing. So that is the human reality, that is the nature actually. Only thing is, you are not thinking, you are not utilizing your right or positive direction like that. This is the thing. Anyway, fine. I am telling just my point of view, nothing. Okay. So whenever your feeling is equal to doing, then you are the happiest person in this world. See, I am thinking I want to attend this workshop. Then if you see things really you are the happy, For example, I like to play football. Then if you allow me, I can play complete day also. I'll have that energy. But if I don't like football, what will happen? Just 5 minutes it will be like one day. Isn't it? So if you, what's your feeling is equal to doing your action means you're the happiest person. These 5 days looking like 5 minutes. But if your feeling is not is equal to doing, what will happen? Completely frustration. When this session will be over, you're waiting for that moment, isn't it? Anyway, so try to do these things, okay, fine. So coming to this again, anyway, I will cut short this one because professors are here, so directly as much as possible we can move to that one. And same thing applicable for engineering also. Nowadays engineering, most of them taken by compulsion or parents' interest, but it should come by our choice. If it is comes, definitely the quality will come, the respect about engineering, everything will improve. So many funds are there actually, even one joke is there. Actually, when two of friends, first year students, they are speaking. You can see him in WhatsApp video. My friend is telling to his friend, my father didn't give any choice to me. He asked me to take engineering, like ECE, like that. And another friend, he told, my father, luckily my father given 3 choices. One is mechanical engineering, another is triple ECE. Even one more, the extension of your study. In my family, we are 3 engineers are there because my father has 3 sons, therefore 3 engineers. Like that. Anyway, it's come by choice, then automatically you will involve. Anyway, coming to this point, other thing. Yes. In your life, what are the places you are using light? Yes? What are the places you are using light? So one of the example we have seen, by nature of sunlight only you can see the objects. Any other places you are using light? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, it's there everywhere. Almost in all places, if you take projector, if you take tube lights, everywhere light is the powerful. You know that nowadays any domain, if you integrate with optics, then it will survive. Otherwise, what will happen? It will be fade out. So that's why, you know that, for example, very simple example. Previously, automobile and other people are using normal lights, now LEDs, even TV, LED TV, everything, starting from A to Z. Even if you take, say for example, mechanical engineering is there, again they integrated with what? Optics. Why any odd disciplines integrated with optics? What is the reason? Any idea? Why any discipline? It should integrate with optics. You know the answer. Just recollect it. Because, very simple, what is the speed of light? Yeah, that is the reason. So 3 into 10 to the power of 8? Can you realize the value really? What is meant by 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second? Just we studied somewhere. Can you realize the speed really? Can you realize? How? That's why, that is our mistake actually. Just like that we are telling 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. You know what is the meaning? 3 lakhs kilometers per second. See, within second, within this, light how much distance travel? 3 lakhs kilometers per second. Then you just take a earth, anyway we will discuss the example also. If you take a earth, so what is the radius of that? Yeah, I think, yeah, nice. Very good actually. Even many of the places I didn't get response, much response. Even I am looking for that thing only, interaction. So whether right or wrong, you should boldly have to tell. That is very important thing. Okay. So 64,000 kilometer radius of Earth. If you calculate the circumference of Earth, 2 pi r. Yeah. So if you divide the value 3 lakhs kilometer divided by 2 pi r, substitute the r value is 64,000. You will get a result is 7.5 something. What is the meaning that any signal, if you convert into light, if you transmit within a second, travel 7 to 8 times around the world. You just take your mobile communication. You know, I think you may not aware. Previously, if you take 10 years back and in mobile communication, we have classification like STD, ISD, PCO. PCO means immediately you can connect. If you make ISD calls, you have to wait for 15 minutes to 20 minutes. Tring. Why it delivers? Yeah, convert run call. Actually the thing is the complete signal from one part of the world to another part of the world through microwave relays and by coaxial cables. But nowadays you send a message or send a WhatsApp message or send any mail or make a call, within a fraction of a second you can connect any part of the world. What is the technology behind that? Nothing but optics. That is nothing but radio over fiber. We are converting our voice signal or mobile signal or internet signal, whatever it is, we are converting in the form of light and we are transmitting through fiber. So that's why within a second it will travel 8 times around the world. Then one time where it is, it's a fraction of seconds. So like that everything we are using, only thing is we have to realize. Okay, fine. So that's why light is very important because it's a natural thing. It's a very powerful one. Okay, fine. So that's why this light is integrated with all the disciplines. Okay, fine. So what will be the outcome of this training program? Okay. End of the day, what you will get or what you are looking to get? Yeah, nice. Okay, fine. My suggestion is my comment is just you get interest about this field. That is more than sufficient. Because see, knowledge is different. Others cannot give knowledge or transfer knowledge to you. Only thing is it comes by you only. If you have interest, if you just realize the things, then automatically you will get knowledge about particular field. Okay, so that is the main objective. Okay, fine. And with this slide again, I will enter into that further. This very actually I like this sentence very much. Academic success depends on research and publications. So, see, for example, I am scoring 9.9 or 10 out of 10 CGPA. This is success. It depends on the people actually. Some students, if I complete my degree without arrears, it's success. If I am getting very good placement, it's success. But real success is nothing but it depends on research and publication. Again, come back to you. See, why you have project? At the final year, you have to do some project. Now, what is the reason of project? You are studying 4 years. You are collecting so many information. You are gaining your knowledge. So, using that something you have to do it for society. If you take RDOPCAT, that is the thing. The BTech students, final year students, they will take real-time problems, either from industry or from their home side or from the society. They will find out technical solution for that thing. Even nowadays, even morning also people discuss smart city and all. So you can take your local place. Some accidents, more accidents happen. How to give technical solution for that? That is the project. So academic success depends on what? Research and publication. Again, let's keep this in your mind. Okay, fine. Again, what is meant by research? Research is nothing but art of development. See, what are the things you are studying? What is meant by book? You are following many textbooks, isn't it? Where is this? What is the source of the textbooks? Yeah, again, papers, publication, research outcomes. The essence of the research only nothing but your textbook. So, why research is very important means in 21st century, the applications are enormous. I think you know you are familiar compared to us. Your mobile, trillion of applications are there. You see, B2D, birth to death applications are there. So many applications. So these applications are what? These are nothing but outcomes of research. See, that's why if you take any government, they are giving much importance to the research. So much funding. If you take a budget, huge fund is allocated for research point of view. So that's why research is very important. Again, many types are the basic research, applied research. I don't want them all. So this like respect to research, even WhatsApp also again outcome of some research. That's why if you take any industry, they have one section like R&D, research and development. What's their job, you know? Compared to other section, this R&D have so much freedom, so much like high salary, all the way they have so much benefits. What is the reason? Yeah, they are designing the future world. You know the thing, see, these R&D sectors and all, they have vision 2050, vision 2100. It's not easy thing. Your institute have some vision, you know. Your department have vision. What is the vision of GCET? Anyway, check it out. Maybe Everybody familiar with these smartphones. So like the people, so many industries, they are working on smart houses. Smart houses, you may have heard about IoT, 5G and anyway, we are going to discuss in detail actually with respect to this optical communication. So smart house in the sense, in the house, what are the things are there? Everything is connected with the internet. Everything is smart, everything will work automatically. For example, morning I wake up, I am going for jogging. Okay, even wake up itself, so many things are there. You know, we are keeping alarm, what we do? Once it's alarming, switch off the alarm, I can use it. For the, you know, for that so many inventions are there. You check it out. Some alarms, what it will do means 5 o'clock you will put means 5 o'clock it will broken into many pieces. Then sound will come. Once you take the pieces, you make the same setup. Then only the sound will stop. And some other alarm will do that. Once it's the time comes, it will go and hidden somewhere. You have to go around. You have to find out. Then you have to switch off it. Otherwise, until then it won't stop it. So see, this is also invention only. So morning if you wake up, you are going for jogging. Your shoes are smart shoes. So the shoes have sensors. It's connected with the internet. If you are going for jogging, how many kilometers you run, how much speed you run, what is your heartbeat, everything it will measure. Not only measure, it will send us a message to your family doctor. So based on which he will recommend your breakfast. See that smart house, not only that thing, after that you are coming to home, after you are jogging, just we enter into your home, suppose fridge is there. Fridge will sense your energy. Because you went around a 10 kilometer jogging or 5 kilometer, 2 kilometer, whatever it is. So it will sense your energy. It will suggest your energy level is very low. Take manual use. See that kind of system, that kind of visions people are keeping, they are working on that. See the major problem is we are ready to enjoy the application, but we are not ready to contribute to that research. That is the major problem. You know, we have ISRO, DRDO, so many funding agencies. We are claiming so many things. So what is our contribution towards the research community? India's contribution to the research community? Any guess or any values in terms of percentage? What's our research contribution to the research society? Overall what? Not 20. Previously it's 0.2%. Now it's increased at least 1%. Above 1%. That is the scenario. The thing is, what is the reason you know that? The lacking is nothing but the institutions. Institutions should be involved into that. That is the major thing. Even NBA, whatever it is coming, they will check it out. What is UG students' contribution in research? That components plays a major role. Just take it as a challenge. You try to contribute something to the society. You are the right people. Okay, fine. Just keep it in your mind. This for some fun purpose I put actually in my class. Pin drop silent is there. What is the reason, you know? If I allow students to use mobile phones, it's possible. Even one story, you heard about Tenali Raman story, you know? Tenali Raman one day he was late to his like whatever office, whatever it is. So that king asked, why are you late? So my kid, when I was started, he didn't allow, he was crying, that's why I was late. Isn't it? You are not able to manage a smart kid like that. Then he shows some demo. Now I am the smart kid. So, okay, you just manage me like that. Then he asked like, I want one pot, small vessel. Then I need, okay, given vessel to him. And he asked one elephant. Yeah, bring one elephant. Then he is tried again. This elephant should go into that vessel. So this managing kids are very difficult. Now you can manage with respect to technology. Just give mobile phones to the kids. Just for fun. Okay. The thing is technology is very important thing. Research is very important thing. Are you ready to do research? Yes? Okay, fine. So I want to confirm with this one. You are ready to do research. Okay. What is the basic requirement to do research? Yes? Yeah, good then. Sorry? Yeah, curious about it. Yes, then? Literature survey. Yes, very good then. Any other thing? You know, okay, fine. You know, the main thing is nothing but happiness and enjoyment. If you are happy, then you are the capable person to do research. Many examples are there. Actually, you have to involve fully as well as you will see actually. You know that. Yes. So many of the research inventions happen during their enjoyment. For example, you know Archimedes' law. You know Archimedes when he invented that law. During his working time. You know Newton's law. When Newton invented that law, he was sleeping, completely sleeping in the under the tree. Isn't that? So those who are mingled with nature, involved with the nature, not only that thing, if you go back to the history, many of the inventions happen during the coffee shops and where the discussions is happening. That's why what is the purpose of this FDP or workshop, conference and all? Wherever you are discussing, then only you get the inventions. So that's why I'm asking to discuss, to make interactive sessions. Okay, fine. So the main thing is nothing but if you enjoy the nature, you are eligible to that. It's like a cycle actually. All the inventions, if you take science, the basic requirement is nothing but enjoyment. When you will enjoy, when you will get happiness? Exactly the answer is nothing but nature. When you are mingled with nature, when you enjoy the nature, then only you get happiness, real happiness. Again, from the nature to science again. That's why physics, why it is called as physics. All the inventions invented from the nature only. That's why nature is powerful. Okay, the solution is, even I'll just go back to this little bit things actually. Okay, same thing. We discussed about human body. You know that human body, everything is there. For example, we are seeing the things. It's optical communication. Again, see how I can realize this is a water bottle, this is fan, this is projector. How I can realize the things? Because everything is stored in my mind. When I am seeing this picture, what will happen? So, this image will be compared with my stored data. So where it is matches, I can conclude that this is nothing but water bottle. This is what? Image processing. And see, complete body is connected with my brain. This is what? My brain is control system. You know that, see, this is very essential. For example, recently one new disease was invented. Myasthenia gravis, something like that. Actually, we are doing some collaborative research with one medical college, Kasturiba Medical College in Karnataka. So the myasthenia gravis is nothing but, see, for example, if my mind is telling, or my brain is telling, open my eyes, then only my eyes open. So if my brain is telling, close my eye, immediately I am closing. So this control in reality, artificially cannot bring it at all. That's why nature is the powerful. You studied signals and system now. The complex system in this world is what? Human body. Still people are analyzing the human body. Okay, fine. So the thing is, for example, some people having that disease, there is the mismatch in communication between the brain and the muscles. That only known as the myasthenia gravis. My brain used to tell open my eye, but my eye won't be open. That those who are having that disease, they have symptoms. For example, I am watching this projector or board. Automatically my eye start to close because there is miscommunication between these muscles, wherever the moving muscles is there, with my brain. So this is a disease. So like that, everything is available in nature. Okay. Even I can go a little bit in depth actually. This only we discussed. Your ear is anyway the topic itself optical and antennas also. You know where the antenna is started. What is the starting point of antenna? If you go back to the history, very first people invented insect antennas. What is meant by insect antennas? If you take butterfly, you can find some extension. If you take grasshopper, you can find some extension. Even you have seen many Hollywood movies. Aliens and that have some. What is that? So these are only known as insect antennas. We can use so many examples. Like, what is this extension? This is actually antenna. It's used for sensing application. That is nothing but insect antenna. This is the starting point of antennas. Even very good example again. You take mosquitoes. Mosquitoes. It's a very good example. You know, and everything having some projection. That is nothing but antennas. This is the starting point. You know these mosquitoes. It's having last slide. That is the thing. 15,000 to 16,000 cells act as an antenna in that extension. So this is nothing but array antenna. Array antenna is studying antennas. What is the purpose of array antenna? So everything you can relevant with the nature. Why you can relevant means the emergence happen from what? Nature. Okay, fine. So that's why the nature is very important. So the conclusion is nothing but as much as enjoy this session and discuss this session. So that's why I started with this one. What are the good places near around? Again, you go to this Ganga, Yamuna, you go to the oceans, you go to the Taj Mahal, you can observe the things, you can learn so many things actually. So if you mingle with the nature, you are the really eligible person to do research. Okay, fine. Okay, coming to this. So this is like little bit introduction now coming to our topic. Okay, fine. So throughout the session, another afternoon session, we are going to focus on these things only. Very simple slides only. Just first introduction about 3 stages of optical communication. The main thing is interest. So my main objective also to create interest about the getting certificate. What is the reason why you are here? No, just my focus is, since it's the first day, first session, really I want to create interest about this workshop. For that I am going to take this 1 hour. This effect you will be attend throughout this week. I hope we will see. Okay, I'll get that from sir later. Okay, fine. So why are you attending this workshop? Okay, let me think. And coming to this one, you know that one survey is telling concentrating on one thing is more than 20 minutes is not at all possible. Any human being, 20 minutes you can concentrate on something. You know that this is a old data, not new data. So if you take 20 years back, 10 years back, human mind can concentrate on one thing 20 minutes. Then later it became 8 minutes. Nowadays it's 5 minutes, it's a very tough. Physically we can sit here, but mentally we will think about what happened in India, this match, India, South Africa, what is our lunch, what his friend is doing. He going somewhere, he is working in class, I am struggling here like that. Isn't it? Okay, fine. So 5 minutes is a very tough part. So how you are going to attend to this 5 days workshop? Is it possible? Yes, possible? Yeah, I'm telling it's possible. When it is possible? Yeah, excellent. If you session is like interesting and interactive, then definitely you will sit there. Then any other idea? Is brilliant, yeah. That's why many of the workshops having action session. Simply keep on speaking about something is nothing work. Even one story also we can tell. See, like if I want to know the taste of sugar, so I am reading 1,000 books about the taste of sugar. Can I realize that? No. Instead of that, I am drawing picture. Okay, sugar is like this, like this, like this. 1,000 pieces will be the white color, very minimal size. Can you realize? Instead of that, you see it. Take 1 spoon of sugar, put it in your mouth. Then you can realize that, isn't it? So hands-on is very important. Even when proverb also is there. I read, I forget, I write, I remember, I did, I understand. So that's why even why engineering disciplines having laboratory. Only theory class, why we have laboratory? What are the things you are studying theoretically that you have to do experiment? Then only you can understand the concept. You know one more thing, unless otherwise if you won't do research, you cannot understand any topic. That is the reality. If you are doing research in particular domain, then only you can get the basic concepts, you can understand the subject. Okay, fine. So any other idea? Yeah, even very good. Any other suggestion when we can take it as for this workshop? See again, youngsters, you know that the generation, in reality, if you take teachers compared to us, you are brilliant. If you take the next generation will be the brilliant thing. So that is the human reality, that is the nature actually. Only thing is, you are not thinking, you are not utilizing your right or positive direction like that. This is the thing. Anyway, fine. I am telling just my point of view, nothing. Okay. So whenever your feeling is equal to doing, then you are the happiest person in this world. See, I'm thinking I want to attend this workshop. Then if you see things really you are happy. For example, I like to play football. Then if you allow me, I can play complete day also. I'll have that energy. But if I don't like football, what will happen? Just 5 minutes it will be like one day. Isn't it? So if you, what's your feeling is equal to doing your action means you're the happiest person. These 5 days looking like 5 minutes. But if your feeling is not is equal to doing, what will happen? Completely frustration. When this session will be over, you're waiting for the moment. Isn't it? Anyway, so try to do these things. Okay, fine. So coming to this again, anyway, I will cut short this one because professors are here. So directly, as much as possible, we can move to that one. And same thing applicable for engineering also. Nowadays, engineering, most of them taken by compulsion or parents' interest. But it should come by our choice. If it comes, definitely the quality will come. The respect about engineering, everything will improve. So many funds are there actually. Even one joke is that actually when two of friends, first year students, they are speaking. You can see him in WhatsApp video. My friend is telling to his friend, my father didn't give any choice to me. He asked me to take engineering, like ECE, like that. And another friend, he told, my father, luckily my father given 3 choices. One is mechanical engineering, another is even one more, the extension of your study. In my family, we are 3 engineers are there because my father had 3 sons, therefore 3 engineers. Like that. Anyway, it's not by choice, then automatically you will involve. Anyway, coming to this point, other thing. Yes. In your life, what are the places you are using light? Yes? What are the places you are using light? So one of the example we have seen, by nature of sunlight only you can see the objects. Any other places you are using light? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, it's that everywhere. Almost in all places, if you take projector, if you take tube lights, everywhere light is the powerful. You know that nowadays any domain, if you integrate with optics, then it will survive. Otherwise, what will happen? It will be fade out. So that's why, you know that, for example, very simple example. Previously, automobile and other people are using normal lights, now LEDs, even TV, LED TV, everything, starting from A to Z. Even if you take, see for example, mechanical engineering is there. Again, they integrated with what? Optics. Why any art disciplines integrated with optics? What is the reason? Any idea? Why any discipline? It should integrate it with optics. You know the answer. Just recollect it. Because, very simple, what is the speed of light? Yeah, that's the reason. So 3 into 10 to the power of 8. Can you realize the value really? What is meant by 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second? Just we studied somewhere. Can you realize the speed really? Can you realize? How? That's why, that is our mistake actually. Just like that we are telling 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. You know what is the meaning? 3 lakhs kilometers per second. See, within second, within this, light how much distance travel? 3 lakhs kilometers per second. Then you just take a earth, anyway we will discuss the example also. If you take a earth, so what is the radius of that? Yeah, I think they are nice, very good actually. Even many of the places I didn't get response, much response. Even I am looking for that thing only, interaction. So whether right or wrong, you should boldly have to tell. That is very important thing. Okay. So 64,000 kilometer radius of Earth. If you calculate the circumference of Earth, 2 pi r. Yeah. So if you divide the value 3 lakhs kilometer divided by 2 pi r, substitute the r value is 64,000. You will get a result is 7.5 something. What is the meaning that any signal, if you convert into light, if you transmit within a second, travel 7 to 8 times around the world. You just take your mobile communication. You know, I think you may not aware. Previously, if you take 10 years back and all, in mobile communication, PCO means immediately you can connect. If you make ISD calls, you have to wait for 15 minutes to 20 minutes. Tring, tring, tring. Why it delivers? Yeah, convert run call. Actually the thing is the complete signal from part of one part of the world to another part of the world through microwave relays and by coaxial cables. But nowadays you send a message or send a WhatsApp message or send any mail or make a call, within a fraction of a second you can connect any part of the world. What is the technology behind that? Nothing but optics. That is nothing but radio over fiber. We are converting our voice signal or mobile signal or internet signal, whatever it is, we are converting in the form of light and we are transmitting through fiber. So that's why within a second it will travel 8 times around the world. Then one time where it is? It's a fraction of seconds. So like that everything we are using, only thing is we have to realize. Okay, fine. So that's why light is very important because it's a natural thing. It's a very powerful one. Okay, fine. So that's why this light is integrated with all the disciplines. Okay, fine. So what will be the outcome of this training program? Okay. End of the day, what do you get or what you are looking to get? Yeah, nice. Okay, fine. My suggestion is, my comment is, just you get interest about this field. That is more than sufficient. Because see, knowledge is different. Others cannot give knowledge or transfer knowledge to you. Only thing is, it comes by you only. If you have interest, if you just realize the things, then automatically you will get knowledge about particular field. Okay, so that is the main objective. Okay, fine. And with this slide again, I will enter into that further. This is very actually I like these standards very much. Academic success depends on research and publications. So, see, for example, I am scoring 9.9 or 10 out of 10 CGPA. This is success. It depends on the people actually. Some students, if I complete my degree without arrears, it's success. If I am getting very good placement, it's success. But real success is nothing but it depends on research and publication. Again, come back to you. See, why you have project? At the final year, you have to do some project. Now, what is the reason of project? You are studying 4 years. You are collecting so many information. You are gaining your knowledge. So, using that something you have to do it for society. If you take abroad, that is the thing. The BTech students, final year students, they will take real-time problems, either from industry or from their home side or from the society. They will find out technical solution for that thing. Even nowadays, even morning also people discuss smart city and all. So you can take your local place. Some accidents, more accidents happen. How to give technical solution for that? That is the project. So academic success depends on what? Research and publication. Again, let's keep this in your mind. Okay, fine. Again, what is meant by research? Research is nothing but art of development. See, what are the things you are studying? What is meant by book? You are following many textbooks, isn't it? Where is this? What is the source of the textbooks? Yeah, again, papers, publication, research outcomes. The essence of the research only, nothing but your textbook. So, why research is very important means in 21st century, the applications are enormous. I think you know, you are familiar compared to us. Your mobile, trillion of applications are there. You see, B2D, birth to death applications are there. So many applications. So these applications are what? These are nothing but outcomes of research. See, that's why if you take any government, they are giving much importance to the research. So much funding. If you take a budget, huge fund is allocated for research point of view. So that's why research is very important. Again, many types are the basic research, applied research. I don't want to name all of them. So this like prospective research, even WhatsApp also again outcome of some research only. That's why if you take any industry, they have one section like R&D, research and development. What's their job, you know? Compared to other section, this R&D have so much freedom, so much like high salary, all the way they have so much benefits. What is the reason? Yeah, they are designing the future world. You know the thing, see, these R&D sectors and all, they have vision 2050, vision 2100. It's not easy thing. Your institute has some vision, you know. Your department has vision. What is the vision of GCET? Anyway, check it out. Maybe NPA that you can find They are working towards that. Very simple example I am telling. So people are working on smart houses. For example, we know that smartphones. What is meant by these smartphones? Everybody familiar with these smartphones. So like the people, so many industries, they are working on smart houses. Smart houses, you may aware about IoT, 5G and anyway we are going to discuss in detail actually with respect to this optical communication. So smart house in the sense, in the house, what are the things are there? Everything is connected with the internet. Everything is smart, everything will work automatically. For example, morning I wake up, I am going for jogging. Okay, even wake up itself, so many things are there. You know, we are keeping alarm, what we do? Once it's alarming, switch off the alarm, I can use it. For that so many inventions are there. You check it out. Some alarms, what it will do means, 5 o'clock you will put means, 5 o'clock it will broken into many pieces, then sound will come. Once you take the pieces, you make the same setup, then only the sound will stop. And some other alarm will be there. Once the time comes, it will go and hidden somewhere. You have to go around, you have to find out, then you have to switch off it. Otherwise, until then it won't stop it. So see, this is also invention only. So morning if you wake up, you are going for jogging. Your shoes are smart shoes. So the shoes have sensors, it's connected with the internet. If you are going for jogging, how many kilometers you run, how much speed you run, what is your heartbeat, everything it will measure. Not only measure, it will send us a message to your family doctor. So based on which he will recommend your breakfast. See that smart house, not only that thing, after that you are coming to home, after your jogging, just we enter into your home, suppose fridge is there. Fridge will sense your energy. Because you went around a 10 kilometer jogging or 5 kilometer, 2 kilometer, whatever it is. So it will sense your energy. It will suggest your energy level is very low, take mango juice. See that kind of system, that kind of visions people are keeping, they are working on that. See, the major problem is we are ready to enjoy the application, but we are not ready to contribute to that research. That is the major problem. You know, we have ISRO, DRDO, so many funding agencies. We are climbing so many things. So what is our contribution towards the research community? India's contribution to the research community? Any guess or any values in terms of percentage? What's our research contribution to the research society overall world? Not only. Previously it's 0.2%. Now it's increased at least 1%, above 1%. That is the scenario. The thing is, what is the reason you know that? The lagging is nothing but the institutions. Institutions should involve into that. That is the major thing. Even NBA, whatever it is coming, they will check it out. What is UG students' contribution in research? That component plays a major role. Just take it as a challenge. You try to contribute something to the society. You are the right people. Okay, fine. Just keep it in your mind. This was some fun purpose I put actually in my class. Pin drop silence is there. What is the reason, you know? If I allow students to use mobile phones, it's possible. Even one story, you heard about Tenali Raman story, you know? Tenali Raman one day he was late to his like whatever office, whatever it is. So that king asked, why are you late? So my kid, when I was started, he didn't allow, he was crying, that's why I was late. Isn't it? You are not able to manage a smart kid like that. Then he shows some demo. Now I am the smart kid. So, okay, you just manage me like that. Then he asked like, I want one pond, small vessel. Then I need, okay, give a vessel to him. And he asked one elephant. Yeah, bring one elephant. Then he is tried again. This elephant should go into that vessel. So this managing kids are very difficult. Now you can manage with respect to technology. Just give mobile phones to the kids. Just for fun. Okay, the thing is technology is very important thing. Research is very important thing. Are you ready to do research? Yes? Okay, fine. So I want to confirm with this one. You are ready to do research. Okay. What is the basic requirement to do research? Yes? Yeah, good then. Sorry? Yeah, curious about it. Yes, then literature survey. Yes, very good then. Any other thing? Okay, fine. The main thing is nothing but happiness and enjoyment. If you are happy, then you are the capable person to do research. Many examples are there. Actually, you have to involve fully as well as you will see actually. You know that. Yes. So many of the research inventions happen during their enjoyment. For example, Archimedes' law. Archimedes when he invented that law. During this clothing time, Newton's law. When Newton invented that law, he was sleeping, completely sleeping in the under tree. Is that right? So those who are mingled with nature, involved with the nature, not only that thing, if you go back to the history, many of the inventions happen during the coffee shops and where the discussions is happening. That's why what is the purpose of this FDP or workshop, conference and all? Wherever you are discussing, then only you get the inventions. So that's why I'm asking to discuss, to make interactive sessions. Okay, fine. So the main thing is nothing but if you enjoy the nature, you are eligible to that. It's like a cycle actually. All the inventions, if you take science, the basic requirement is nothing but enjoyment. When you will enjoy, when you will get happiness, exactly the answer is nothing but nature. When you are mingled with nature, when you enjoy the nature, then only you get happiness, real happiness. Again, from the nature to science again. That's why physics, why it is called as physics. All the inventions invented from the nature only. That's why nature is powerful. Okay, the solution is, even I'll just go back to this little bit things actually. Okay, same thing, we discussed about human body. You know that human body, everything is there. For example, we are seeing the things, it's optical communication. Again, see how I can realize this is a water bottle, this is fan, this is projector. How I can realize the things? Because everything is stored in my mind. When I am seeing this picture, what will happen? So, this image will be compared with my stored data. So where it is matches, I can conclude that this is nothing but water bottle. This is what? Image processing. And see, complete body is connected with my brain. This is what? My brain is control system. You know that, see, this is very essential. For example, recently one new disease was invented. Myasthenia gravis, something like that. Actually, we are doing some collaborative research with one medical college, Kasturiba Medical College in Karnataka. So the myasthenia gravis is nothing but, see, for example, if my mind is telling, or my brain is telling, open my eyes, then only my eyes open. So if my brain is telling, close my eye, immediately I am closing. So this control in reality, artificially cannot bring it at all. That's why nature is so powerful. You studied signals and system, huh? The complex system in this world is what? Human body. Still people are analyzing the human body. Okay, fine. So the thing is, for example, some people having that disease, there is the mismatch in communication between the brain and the muscles. That only known as the myasthenia gravis. My brain used to tell open my eye, but my eye won't be open. Those who are having that disease, they have symptoms. For example, I am watching this projector or board. Automatically my eye start to close because there is miscommunication between these muscles, wherever the moving muscles is there, with my brain. So this is a disease. So like that, everything is available in nature. Okay. Even I can go a little bit in depth actually. This only we discussed. Anyway, the topic itself, optical and antennas also. You know where the antenna is started? What is the starting point of antenna? If you go back to the history, very first people invented insect antennas. What is meant by insect antennas? If you take butterfly, you can find some extension. If you take grasshopper, you can find some extension. Even you have seen many Hollywood movies. Aliens and that have some. What is that? So these are only known as insect antennas. We can give so many examples. Like, what is this extension? This is actually antenna. It's used for sensing application. That is nothing but insect antenna. This is the starting point of antennas. Even very good example again. You take mosquitoes. Mosquitoes. It's a very good example. you know, and everything having some projection. That is nothing but antennas. This is the starting point. You know, these mosquitoes, it's having, last slide, that is the thing, 15,000 to 16,000 cells act as an antenna in that extension. So this is nothing but array antenna. Array antenna is studying antennas. What is the purpose of array antenna? So everything you can relevant with the nature. Why you can relevant means the inventions happen from what? Nature. Okay, fine. So that's why the nature is very important. So the conclusion is nothing but as much as enjoy this session and discuss this session. So that's why I started with this one. What are the good places near around? Again, you go to this Ganga, Yamuna, you go to the oceans, you go to the Taj Mahal, you can observe the things, you can learn so many things actually. So if you mingle with the nature, you are the really eligible person to do research. Okay, fine. Okay, coming to this. So this is like a little bit introduction, now coming to our topic. Okay, fine. So throughout the session, another afternoon session, we are going to focus on these things only. Very simple slides only. Just first introduction about three-stage optical communication. The main thing is interest. So my main objective also to create interest about this actually. If you take 10 years some standard traditional books and the very first chapter is what? History. How people invented the things. But now what we are doing? We are going with textbooks. No history, no introduction. Even particularly we are taking Xerox. What is our syllabus? That contents alone we are taking Xerox, we are referring. And what are the industries are working or they are doing in this field? Free-space optics, fine. Okay, fine. So, sir, how much time do we have, sir?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay, fine. Okay, just can I start with it? Okay, fine. That's good. So after lunch we will enter it.
Sharply we will have it at 2 o'clock.
Sorry?
Sharply we will have it at 2 o'clock.
Fine. Okay, fine. Have a very good lunch and
You also mentioned.
yes. So we will sit and sleep, okay? Okay, fine. Okay. We'll meet. Thank you. Communication, we are familiar about communication, isn't it? Even in the course itself, what is the branch name? Electronics and Communication Engineering. See, actually, the life is like cycle actually. First, if you divisions, we want to enter into the depth. So that's why this electrical engineering is separated into electronics and communication engineering separate branch, electrical engineering separate branch. We are not even electrical and electronics engineering, triple EEC like that, isn't it? But if you take many IITs, old IITs, still they are keeping electrical engineering branch only. ECE, triple E, and coming to the same stream. The thing is, previously, nowadays everything is multidisciplinary. Not only like single domain like that. Say I am electrical engineer, I am specific with only electrical things. I am a communication engineering, I am only strict on communication. It's not like that. Because nowadays everything is interdisciplinary. For example, I can give one very good example. So one of my spent a PhD in electronics and communication engineering. But his research area is like biomedical applications. So he wanted to know most biological things. So for that, again he did FDPS. So he got doctorates in two domains, engineering as well as medicine. Because nowadays there is a needle thing actually. If you look it out, anything is multiple with many other departments. For example, if you take satellite attraction, if you take fellowship also, the people are doing research in other domains. They will get some amount, lesser amount in fellowship. Science, arts, etc. But if you take engineering domain, the fellowship is high. The reason is, engineering is what? Combination of physics, chemistry, maths, as well as biology also nowadays. So that is the major thing. If you take BSc physics means, they will deal only physics related things only. But engineers not like that. You should have all the knowledge. So that's right. Okay, so communication is what? Coming to this communication. To transfer information from one place to another place. That is nothing but general communication. So this communication, what are the major elements of this communication? This and all already you started, isn't it? What are the major elements of communication? Transmitter, channel and receiver. Even this morning we discussed that. If I am speaking to you, I am just starting from throat. Actually exactly it's starting from stomach. The sound source is nothing but stomach. Is coming via throat. In this throat, the vocal cords will be there. The opening and closing of these vocal cords only created a sound is filtered with the help of nose. All the things are connectivity. See again signal processing in our body. So everything is available in our body. If you understand the system itself, very big thing. Okay. So based on the medium, this communication classified into two types: guided medium. Okay. So guided medium and unguided medium. Okay. So what are the major demands or requirements of communication? If you take any types of communication, what you are looking for in communication is, for example, you are using YouTube, you are watching some videos or live programs, telecasts, whatever it is. What you are looking for? High speed. If you are watching something on YouTube, it's buffering and coming to your answer. GCET is the center, or some BHL exam, some competitive exam, this is the center. Suddenly what will happen? More candidates used to come over here. Have you experienced such things? Maybe suddenly one place, the crowd is more means, the number of users means, the network won't support. So the scalability, the capacity of the system is very important. And last thing is security. Security is very your mobile phone frequency, what is the frequency we are using? Take mobile signal, what is the frequency? In terms of megahertz, 900 megahertz frequency range we are using, isn't it? So we are achieving data rate in terms of kbps or mbps. So if you want to data rate in terms of gbps, if you want to increase more number of users, everything, you have to move. So 5G, people are planning 3 GHz frequency to 90 GHz frequency. So that's why we can achieve that much data rate. Okay, fine. So therefore, whenever you need those things and all, no other way you have to go with the optical communication. That is optical frequency. Okay, fine. So this is the tree diagram. It gives the classifications of communication. So based on the channel, the communication divided into two types: wired communication and wireless communication. What is again this wired communication classified into many types? You know that medium. Wired medium is classified into transmission lines, waveguides, and final thing is fiber optic cable. Again, transmission line, if you take many types of the two-wire, coaxial, planar, microstrip lines, dotted line, etc. Similarly, coming to this wireless communication also, normal RF mobile communication, then optical wireless communication. Again, this is two types: indoor, outdoor. Outdoor again based on the frequency, infrared, visible light communication, UV communication, like that it's split up. So if we take two types of medium, what is the difference between these two medium, wired medium and wireless medium? If you look it out, the wired medium, the main thing is nothing but what? High speed you can obtain and less challenges actually. That is nothing but fiber optic communication. You get achieve data rate in terms of high speed and challenge is very less. But coming to this wireless communication, challenges are more. Actually, there is a simple example. For example, in agriculture and all, you know, if you power a water, suppose if you take this space, I am powering water. Water, how it will go? Spreaded in all the direction. Isn't it? If you want to specify the thing, I want to make a channel, I make like a bigger ground, like. Then if I power the water, it will go proper. Isn't it? It quickly reach my destination. So like that. So, but the advantage of wireless medium is what? Flexibility. See, nowadays everything we are looking for what? Flexibility. See, for example, we are using what? Wireless mouse. We are looking for wired mouse? No, wireless mouse. Remote. People think, why should we not have the remote for light, TV? Because you don't want to go and switch off, isn't it? So everything we are looking for flexibility. For example, if you take landline phone and nothing but you have to stand here and only you have to speak. But mobile? Now we are not leaving phone at all. In bus, train, wherever you go, it's like one of the part of our body, isn't it? But you know that thing. We know the positive side of these mobile phones. These have so much dangerous negative side also. You know, mobile phones has like cigarettes of 21st century. So many research is going on health results of these mobile phones. Even I can give a very good example. Everybody heard about like microwave oven. We have seen also. You are using your home also. What is the purpose of microwave oven? Just use cook the food, isn't it? So how it is cooking? For example, if you are keeping some chicken, whatever it is inside that microwave oven, it's getting cooked. How it is working?
The water molecules present in that, so they are just
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, if you take any food, the food contents are like water particles, sugar, isn't it? Some like food contents are there. If you apply electromagnetic waves, particularly microwave frequencies, so these microwave frequencies interact with these food contents. Even we can draw some diagram also. See, for example, if you take microwave frequencies, it's having positive off cycle, negative off cycle, isn't it? So these food contents, for example, if you take water, what is the molecular H2O, hydrogen and oxygen, it's having positive as well as negative. Or else you can take any atom. What are the contents of the atom? It's have nucleus as well as electrons. So nucleus is the center point, around the electron clouds are there. Nucleus is positive, electron clouds are negative. If you apply microwaves, it's having positive off cycle, negative off cycle. During positive off cycle, what it will do? These negative components attract towards this positive. During negative off cycle, positive components are attracted. So therefore these food contents act as a dipole, positive, negative. Depends on the positive off cycle, negative off cycle, it will what? Flip here and forth. So because of that, if you take food, it consists of many contents. So these atoms that are flip here and forth, it will introduce the friction. So because of that friction, it's getting heated and getting cold. So you know why we are choosing for microwave frequency. We can choose some other radio frequencies or lower frequencies. What is the reason for microwave? Yeah, what is the frequency of this microwave oven? What frequency it is working? Have you heard about ISM band? ISM band, Industrial Scientific Medicine band. What is the frequency? 2.4 GHz is the common, isn't it? 2.4 GHz only, all the many equipments working in the 2.4 GHz frequency. That's why that portion is nothing but congested one. So people are try to move that higher frequencies in 5G and IoT applications. So if you take this 2.4 GHz frequency, what is the meaning, you know? If you apply that microwave frequencies to this microwave oven, so these food contents are within a second 2.4 watt frequency, that is like 2.4 billion seconds times per second. Within a second, 2.4 billion times it will oscillate, flip here and forth. So because of that huge oscillation, the food is getting cooked. So that is also one of the application. So like that, This, if you take with this wireless, the main reason is nothing but flexibility. Flexibility you can find it high. Now the practical scenario is this wired medium is almost saturated, including fiber. So people are looking for what? Wireless communication. That is, people are looking for high flexibility. Even in education system also, many of the institute following fully flexible curriculum, FFCS something. Whatever subject you want, you can study. There is no fixed subjects at all. The only thing is pre-requirements. For example, if I want to read microwave engineering, only thing is I should finish the transmission line theory. If I complete the transmission line theory, anytime I can study that microwave engineering. Many of the universities following even IITs, NITs and all, having this FFCS. Even not only subjects, they can choose their own faculty also. Same subjects offered by 2-3 faculties. Students can choose. Even they have one option, add and drop. For example, I am handling one subject, another faculty. Students register under me. 10 days they given time for add and drop. If they don't like my way of teaching my class, they can switch out to other faculty. So what is this actually? Again, flexibility. Everywhere people are looking for what? High flexibility. So even this is recent news actually. In May 2019, see, BSNL may deploy free space optics technology for backhaul applications. This particularly in this area only. Here you can mention Gujarat as well as Rajasthan areas. So this efforts anyway, we are not still now only we start. Go ahead. Did you have a wireless treatment? Why don't you? Nowadays schools and all, they are giving heavy workloads, many subjects that students are like what? Suffer like anything. See, wired back and wireless back. So which one you prefer? Wireless. So that is the reason is nothing but flexibility. We are looking for high flexibility. Isn't it? So these wireless communication, little bit history you can see, then you can understand, you get interest about this wireless communication. So everybody know about, okay. So interesting thing is, this Titanic ship, 900 feet length, you just see it, 900 feet, you imagine. And this structure details, height how much? 25 stories. In ground also we don't have, if you take Greater Noida, so many high building apartments. Like that 25 storage buildings setup was there in Titanic ship. And weight see, 46,000 tons. That is a very big miracle. 46,000 tons, how it's floating on the water. That is how we think about it. And 3 days of float and 2,200 passengers travel in the day. Remaining survivor 700. That even Titanic movies.
Live boats.
Yeah, live boats. How they transfer the information? The thing is nothing but wireless telegraph. Once it met an accident, that information is transmitted through wireless telegraph. That's why live boats and so many small boats near around it, they received the information. Immediately they went to the spot and they saved the people. Actually, this is if you see the picture, you can understand. In 1912, this cartoon kind of picture is published in the newspaper. Actually, once the Titanic ship met an accident, that information is spreaded to that through wireless telegraph. So many other nearby ships, they received the information, they went to the spot and they saved the people. That is the beauty of the technology. And you know that how this wireless telegraph is started? How it is started? See, each and every invention and technology began that so many people invested their lives, but we didn't bother about them. Even we are not thinking about them. Simply we want to enjoy the application. But just think about it. You try to contribute small thing to this research community. That is the important thing. Okay, fine. So just little bit theory actually. See, the starting part of the wireless telegraphy is nothing but Maxwell equations. You know Maxwell, what he did? Everybody know, you studied electromagnetic waves and propagations. You know so many equations, complicated subject actually. Okay, fine. But the very simple way is Maxwell's. He make a statement. This communication, that is electromagnetic waves, it can propagate through free space as well as through wired medium, any wired medium. That is a statement. In what? In 1873. After his statement, you know that also, he didn't do any experiment at all. By mathematical way, he proved it and he made that statement. After that, so many scientists like H.R.H., Tesla, so many scientists, they really experimentally proved and finally these wireless telegraphy and other communication technologies, radios, etc. Okay, now you can understand the power of wireless communication, and even if you look it out the history, easily you can understand the importance. Okay, fine. So now we understand what is meant by wireless communication. Now coming to this free space optics, actually our topic is what? Free space optics only. Okay, fine. So this FSO is nothing but it's the integration of wireless communication as well as optical communication. So that's why I make the point, nowadays everything is nothing but interdisciplinary, not a single thing. This wireless free space optics is nothing but it's integration of wireless communication as well as optical communication. If you integrate these two technologies, you will get FSO. And see, already we discussed that what is the major advantage of wireless communication? Flexibility. What is the major advantage of wired communication? Speed, particularly optical communication, high speed. So, but this high speed, even the fiber, the flexibility is less. So, if you integrate these two things, you will get free space optics. So, in this free space optics, you can achieve the speed of fiber and flexibility of fiber. You are getting this point. We are getting both flexibility also we are getting as well as speed also we are getting. That is the advantage of FSO. Okay, fine. So, from this slide, easily you can understand what is meant by free space optics. Just I am considering just graphical method. This is x-axis and this one is y-axis. So this x-axis I am considering a transmission medium. Okay. And y-axis I am considering the transmitter signal. Okay. So there are two types of transmission medium I am taking. One is wired medium, that is optical fiber, and another one is nothing but free space, wireless medium. Similarly, this transmitter signal I am considering two types of signal. One is RF signal, lower frequencies, and another one is higher frequencies, light signal. So see, if I am transmitting light signal through optical fiber, that is what? Traditional optical communication. Isn't it? Similarly, if I transmit RF signal through free space, that is what? Traditional RF communication. So just I am doing ulta. Instead of this light transmitting through optical fiber, I am transmitting light signal through free space. That is nothing but wireless optical. Similarly, if I am transmitting RF signals through fiber, that is nothing but radio or fiber technology. This radio or fiber only morning we discussed. That is the backbone technology. Nowadays, if you are communicating any part of the world through mobile or through SMS or through internet, email, whatever it is, what is the technology behind that? Radio or fiber. Because we are converting any type of signal in terms of light, we are transmitting through fiber means it reaches what? 7 to 8 times around the world. So that is radio or fiber. Okay. Now otherwise, see this figure, how much information it gives that we can try to understand. Otherwise we can tell it as, see here, traditional optical communication integrated with RF, that is nothing but radio or fiber. Similarly, see, traditional mobile communication integrated with light, that is nothing but wireless optical communication. Otherwise, traditional optical communication integrated with free space, that is also wireless optical. See, that's why picture is very important. Instead of 1000 paragraphs, easily you can present with respect to one simple picture. That's why whenever you are using some circuit diagrams on figures, you have to make it clear because it gives lot of information. Okay. So now you understand what is meant by free space optics. Okay. So this is general block diagram of free space optical communication. Consists of transmitter and receiver, and we are transmitting signal through free space. So we are transmitting signal through free space, so many challenges are there. Like one is attenuation, and another one is turbulence, and third thing is pointing error. Anyway, we will see it one by one. Okay, fine. So this is simple introduction about free space optical communication. Okay. Now the next we move to this what? How to get interest in this field. Okay. So how to get interest in the sense? Actually, this simple slide I prefer. It's not only like education point of view. Any domain you can apply this one. If you are good in particular field, or if you are scoring good marks in particular subject. There are many reasons. This is based on the subject I prepared. So if you are getting, for example, if you are in third year, second year you studied electromagnetic fields. Suppose you scored A grade or what are CGPA something. Okay, so if you scored good marks means many reasons behind that. So maybe interest, you have much interest in that particular subject, or time in the sense what are the questions you write, same questions coming into the exam means you can score good marks. And preparation, presentation, so many reasons, you just forget about all other things. So coming to this interest, so unless otherwise you don't have interest about particular thing, you may not know that field. So interest is very important thing. So how you can get interest about particular field or particular domain? For example, if you are using MI phone or some other mobile phone, how you purchase that mobile phone? First thing is you have interest. How you get interest? If you know the importance, if you know the features, it's having a 50 megapixel camera, very high speed RAM processor. So if you know that specification, if you know the application, if you know the importance, automatically you will get interest. Is that it? So like if you are good in that particular thing, the interest is very important thing. So how you will get interest means with respect to subject, main role is what? Teacher. Teacher is responsible. Even I feel the main role of the teacher is to create interest about the particular subject. Once it's created means you can nowadays so many sources are there. Even much NPTELs are there. So many animations are available. So many foreign university videos, etc. The sources are enormous. In Google, everything you can find it, isn't it? Then what is the role of the teacher? Main thing is what? To create interest about the particular field. Even I am trying to do now that thing only. To create interest about this field. Okay, fine. So teacher is first thing. The next thing is importance. If you know the importance about the field, automatically you will get the interest. If you know the recent trends and application, again you will get the interest. Final thing is history. So you will see that history, then you will find very interesting thing over there. Okay. So first thing is what? Importance. So we are going to see the importance first. See, this is a really interesting thing actually. It's not like the regular theories. Wi-Fi. Have you heard about Wi-Fi? We know about Wi-Fi. What is mean by Wi-Fi? Wireless fidelity, isn't it? So if Wi-Fi router is there, you can switch on your mobile Wi-Fi. You can utilize it. So the solution, the alternate for this Wi-Fi is nothing but Wi-Fi. In China and all already people implemented light fidelity. Wi-Fi means what? Suppose you replace this normal tube light with LED lights. You can transmit internet signal through this LED lights. Under this light coverage, if you open your laptop, you will get the internet signal. Not only internet, FM signal. In YouTube, so many videos are there. Say for example, this is a FM device. I am applying some light. I am transmitting FM signal through this light. So within the light coverage, you can hear the sound. If I move it away out of from this coverage, it won't stop. Isn't it? So like that, we are transmitting. Not only this thing, another very good example is suppose you take this laptop, my laptop. My laptop hard is 2 TB, suppose. 2 TB, okay, 2 terabytes. So I want to transmit this complete information 2 terabytes from this laptop to this desktop. How you can transfer? How you can transfer? Either you have to use some external hard disk, you have to copy. But how much time it will copy? From here to hard disk, again you have to connect, again you have to transfer. That is really tough. Otherwise you can connect with both the systems with LAN, you can transfer. Again data disk will go around. So now people are using this Wi-Fi based device, not Wi-Fi, like visible light communication. Just pen drive kind of device only. You can insert it in this USB port. You can insert to here. Within a second, you can transfer this 2 TB data from one system to another system. The solution is nothing but wireless optical communication. So that is the power actually. Even we are talking about speed of light. What is the speed of light? Yes? Huh? 3 into 10 to the 3 to 3 lakhs kilometer per second. So within second, 3 lakhs kilometer is a distance can travel. Okay, so using that speed is where it is. It is in vacuum only, not in fiber or not in some other medium. The speed is what? Free space only. That's why If you use two devices over here, you can transmit the information. Already people achieved 2.5 data. See here, 2.5 Tbps data rate they achieved using this visible information. So that's why this free space optics is important. Okay, fine. And another thing is this table is a very good comparison between your traditional wireless communication, optical communication as well as free space optics. So it's based on the certain parameters like bandwidth, data rate, maintenance, installation, security, etc. So in this table, these red colors indicates disadvantages, green colors indicates advantages. Both the people have some light kind of thing in their hands. Okay, both are initially covered with some clothes. Okay, he knows the distance between the two hills. Okay, he asked one person to remove the clothes from the light. So how much time it take to reach the second person? So we know the very famous formula. What is the formula? Speed is equal to distance by time. Already they know the distance between the two hills. So they try to calculate how much time it take to reach the second person. But what will happen? If you remove the cloth, within the fraction of a second it will reach. So like that they tried. So they was thinking first initially, Galileo was thinking, okay, what are the hills considered? It's very close distance, that's why it's reaching quickly. They consider again 1 kilometer, 1.5 kilometer. Like that they did many attempts. Finally what he concluded, the speed of light is infinity. Like that. Then again after people, they didn't give up. So like that after that, see that is the next thing. They consider other two hills separated by 1 kilometer, 1.5 kilometer. Again they see applied, make one light, how much time is to reach the second. Like that after that other experiments, like that many experiments people did. Finally they concluded speed of light is 3 lakhs kilometers per second. Okay, can you guess how many years they took to find out the speed of light? How many years? 10 years? 20 years? It's around 600 years they took to find out the speed of the light. That is the history. It's not simple value actually. So many people invested their minds, invested their life in the labs and other experiments. Finally they concluded the speed of light. Then you think about it. Even we are using light simply, isn't it? We are wasting power also. Thomas Alva Edison only invented bulb. So how many attempts you made? He made, more than 1,000 attempts. After that only he invented the light. So that much that's why history is very important. Okay, fine. So see here, this is the history of after 300 years. In 1638 Galileo started with that experiment. After that so many experiments. Finally, when 1983, just 20-30 years before only people concluded the exact speed of the light. Okay, fine. That also not 3 lakh. 2.999, that is the exact value. Okay, so another story also I can tell. This is another interesting story. You may aware about scientist Huygens. He made so many statements. Even he invented so many properties of the light. He did one very good experiment actually, I will tell you. One time what he did means in his laboratory, he took one vessel actually. For example, you take your tiffin box, tupper box something. You just go out, you can open the tupper box. Inside the tupper box you can find the light, isn't it? So like that he collected light, he opened the vessel in sunlight, he can find inside the vessel light. Immediately he closed tightly. He entered into his lab, he closed all the windows doors. He opened the light will be there. He tried many a time. See, if you take some water in your vessel, if you coming in, if you open, you can find it. What about light? He did many a times. Finally, he concluding, light is traveling in high speed. If you collect within the short distance, it reflected many a times. Each and every reflection loses energy. Finally, it disappears like that. See the history actually. You know that thing, reality. Many inventions happen with accident. But the thing is, they dedicatedly, they observe the nature, they mingle with the nature. That's why they invented the thing. Even nowadays, fashion, what are the things? By accident. Even in cooking also, If you try to make idli, some other things come that is needed. Isn't it? So like that, history is very important. If you know the history what, you will get interest about the particular field. That's why history is very important. Okay, fine. Even FSO, coming to this FSO, did you think like FSO is a new technology? FSO is a very old technology. Actually, it started in 800 BC. Greek people, Romanians, when they are traveling in ship, they use fire beacons, they show some lights. Even railway and all, people use lights, red color light. Now they are using flags, isn't it? So the very first communication itself, wireless optical communication. Okay, fine. Even we know that we are aware about Alexander Graham Bell. What he did? He invented telephone. You know that what he invented first before telephone? Before telephone, he invented photophone. So that photophone is the first telephone. That is the first wireless communication, wireless optical communication. Actually, what he did means he modulated his voice with sunlight and he transmitted for certain distance. That is the first phone. That is nothing but photophone. That itself what? Wireless optical communication. Even if in YouTube you can search photophone experiment, you can find very good video also. Even you can try, you can make a photophone experiment also. So the very first wireless optical communication only. So that is Alexander Graham Bell invented photophone experiment. You know that we are aware about patents, publications, journals, conferences. What is meant by patent? Patent means what? It's like records. For example, if you are inventing something, you have to register properly through particular forum. Same thing only, journals also. Patent is the highest level. The next level is journal. If you are invented something, if you are contributing something to that particular field, you have to make a record with your name. That is nothing but journals. The next level is conferences. So with respect to this photophone experiment, Alexander Graham Bell in 1887, he made four patents with respect to this photophone experiment. And even his statement, photophone was the greatest invention I have ever made, greater than the telephone. That is his own statement. What do you understand? Telephone is nothing. What I make great invention is what? Photophone experiment. That time people didn't realize that, but now they are realizing. So in future communication what? Photophone, FSO only. That is the solution. Okay. Then why people moved? Okay, first experiment is a photophone experiment, wireless optical communication. Then why people moved to wired communication? The reason is nothing but challenges. In free space optics, the challenges are more because you are transmitting light signal through what? Free space. See, very simple example for free space. FSO is nothing but your remote. TV remote you are using. How you are transmitting signal? Infrared signal. You are changing the channel. So that is FSO only. So wireless optical communication only. So that in free space optics, the challenges are more because you are transmitting light signal through what? Free space. Free space, the weather conditions are different. Like fog, sometimes what? Very hot, sometimes what? Cloudy, sometimes what? Raining, isn't it? So if you are transmitting light signal through free space, it will be major challenge. That's why people move to, we don't want much complexity, isn't it? Always we are looking for what? Easiest method, shortcuts kind of thing. That's why people move to the wired communication, from wireless to wired. But again now the wired is saturated, no other way we have to come back to original source, wireless optical communication. Okay. So this is pattern, he filed in 1880. So this is his first experiment, photophone experiment. Transmitter and receiver, he modulated human voice through free space, that is through that optical communication, wireless optical communication. So this is a little bit history about FSO. Now you can get little bit interest towards this field. Okay. So last main thing is application and recent times. Okay. So coming to these applications, see this FSO used in many applications. For example, you know that like inter-intra-satellite communication. See whatever RF communication, microwave, wired, everything we are using. it's ground level or terrestrial level, it's okay. But if you are going with space, one satellite wanted to communicate with another satellite, only solution is nothing but wireless optical communication only. And metropolitan cities, as we discussed, if you take a Greater Noida, already so many buildings, apartments. If you want to make an optical network connectivity ground, there is no space to dig it down. So how we can make the connectivity? Wireless optical communication, like metropolitan cities is huge. Even very first slide I put now one project we are currently working on that project. That is nothing but radio or free space optical communication for smart cities and 5G application. And home access, and this is another interesting thing, inter-chip, intra-chip communication. You know that if you open your mobile phone or your laptop, you can find the motherboard, isn't it? In motherboard you can find many ICs, isn't it? So one IC is connected with another IC, inter-chip or intra-chip. Between the two chips or within a chip, one IC to another IC. How the signal is transmitted? They are using wires, particularly copper cables is soldered. But what is the problem in copper cables? Losses are more, isn't it? And if you are making soldering, because of soldering also losses will be increased. So people are replacing these copper cables with fiber. Again fiber, wired communication we have drawbacks. So now people are looking for what? Wireless optical communication. See, if you take a simple board, it is fine. Have you communication? You know that if you open your mobile phone or your laptop, you can find the motherboard, isn't it? In motherboard you can find many ICs, isn't it? So one IC is connected with another IC, inter-chip or intra-chip. Between the two chips or within a chip, one IC to another IC. How the signal is transmitted? They are using wires, particularly copper cables is soldered. But what is the problem in copper cables? Losses are more, isn't it? And if you are making soldering, because of soldering also losses will be increased. So people are replacing these copper cables with fiber. Again fiber, wired communication we have drawbacks. So now people are looking for what? Wireless optical communication. See, if you take a simple board, it is fine. Have you cables? So if any connection problem, some problem means finding out is very difficult. Managing the cables itself very difficult. So now people are thinking this wireless optical communication for server. Even another interesting thing, like disaster recovery application. You know that in US, that time what communication they used, you know? Wireless optical communication. So whenever it's disaster, some forest fire or some flooding is there, such kind of places and all you can use what? Wireless optical communication. Huh? 3:30, yeah. Okay, another 10 minutes. We will wind up this recent trends and then after break we will get this. Okay. So coming to these recent trends, see these are recent trends in wireless optical communication. See here, FSO, hybrid RF FSO. Hybrid RF FSO means what? You know? See, people again, they are mixing, they are integrating two techniques, RF as well as FSO. See, for example, we just take it out these buildings. For example, this building is connected with another building through like FSO communication. This FSO purely depends on the weather conditions. It is attenuated with the fog. Therefore, your complete signal is attenuated. You cannot be able to see even 0.5 meter also. Isn't it? So that is the drawback. So this ways of things is completely depends on weather condition. Therefore, such kind of weather condition we are going with hybrid RF FSO. That means this building is connected with another building. It is having RF antenna also and FSO transmitter also. So it has some sensors. The sensor first sense the weather condition. If weather condition is clear means it will transmit data through FSO. If weather condition is poor means it will transmit through RF. Even you may find, for example, heavy rain is there. What will happen? RF signal will be attenuated. You have experience with your BTH. If raining means what will happen? RF signal cut. That time you can use FSO. FSO is good, instant with respect to rain and all. But heavy fog is there. FSO will cut. We can withstand with RF. So like that we can use RF hybrid applications. and ROF, radio fiber, already we discussed. Anyway, we will discuss in detail also. This is another emerging area, radio over free space optics. Radio over free space optics means again, so the new towers installed means, so it will be connected with respect to FSO communication. That is nothing but ROFSO. Same two towers connected with the fiber means that is nothing but radio over fiber. Okay. And visible light communication, ultraviolet. You know, this is another big area, underwater optical communication. You know about IoT. IoT is what? Internet of Things. Like that, another area is IOUT, Internet of Underwater Things. You know that actually, I don't know how much you know the importance of ocean. Oceans plays major role in this planet actually. Because if you take Earth also, more than 70% is what? Water only. The complete climate of the country or complete climate of the world, complete climate like what? Not only climate, economy of the world, everything determined by what? Ocean. Even more living organisms is what? You can find it in what? Ocean only. So ocean is the very important thing. Even if you take human body also, 70% is what? Water only. Remaining 20% only other things. Okay. So therefore water is very important. Even you know that recently people are constructing big cities. How this greater Noida is there? Such kind of apartments, such kind of city, they are creating in what? Top of the ocean. They are investing huge amount and underwater world also they are creating. They are creating like, you know that UAV or unmanned vehicle like that. Like that people are creating underwater vehicle. They are doing a lot of research on in ocean. So they are installing so many sensors, everything is connected with the internet. That is what IOU. So to monitoring weather conditions and monitoring of ocean, etc. Okay. That is another area. First, such kind of areas that are coming under this underwater optical communication. You know that underwater initially people use acoustic only. Then they moved to RF. Now people are working on what? Optical. Again what? Whenever you need the high data rate, high speed, high accuracy, what is the solution? Close your eyes, go and fix the optical communication. That's why that is the future. There is no light means there is no world. So optical is the ultimate solution. Even you know, the extension you can find it here also. Not only these things, communication point of view. Have you heard about nanophotonics? Nanophotonics. Again it's integration. Integration of nanotechnology with photonics. So many areas are there. You aware about MEMS, micro electro mechanical system. There are also people introduced optical, MOEMs. So everywhere, every domain, there is no option. We have to integrate with photonics. Then only it will survive. You know that this nanophotonics, one of the part of the nanophotonics is quantum photonics. It have many classifications. Like see here, silicon photonics, diamond photonics, graphene photonics, quantum photonics, biophotonics, microwave photonics, so many. You know this diamond optics, diamond photonics. This is another emerging area. I think here it is famous. People are, that is cosmetic area. The ladies and all, they are going for the parties, functions and all. They will change the color of their eyebrows and eyes. With respect to diamond, like lenses, the eye lens we are using, like the diamond they are making different colors. It's huge marketing in Korea as well as in India also. It's very famous. That is coming under diamond photonics. So you forget about that. That quantum photonics is very important thing. For example, if you are using like laptop, what is the processor speed of that laptop? Frequency what? Maximum gigahertz. Beyond gigahertz, it's not at all possible. Because electronics are limited with what? Speed. Gigahertz is the maximum speed. But scale you can reduce up to what? Nano level you can reduce. So silicon, that is electronic support for scaling down, and it can't support for high speed. But coming to this photonics, like gallium arsenide, etc. These are all support for speed, but not support for scaling down. So again people are integrating this silicon as well as photonics. So that is nothing but silicon photonics. This quantum photonics, people are developing processor on the devices with respect to terahertz frequency. That is nothing but optical computing. Just put a keyword in YouTube, optical computing. So optical computing means what are the devices you are having. For example, if you take a motherboard, either CPU or this itself, you have transistor, logic gates, isn't it? And you have like many couplers, power splitters, power combiners, so many combinational circuits, flip-flop, encoder, decoder, multiplexer, demultiplexer, isn't it? Directional coupler, isolator, circulator, all the devices working in RF frequencies and microwave frequencies. But now people are developing in optical frequencies, terahertz frequencies. That is nothing but nanophotonics area. Again, it's a very big portion. Industries are invested huge amount on this one. They are doing so many research also. Even you can see another area. This is another big area, metamaterials. This is another interesting area. Have you ever heard about metamaterials? You ever heard about metamaterials? Have you seen somewhere metamaterials in movies or somewhere? It's there actually. You are seeing. See this metamaterials, another great invention. See we are telling now, if you take first stage is Stone Age. People make the devices with the help of stone. Then they move to Iron Age. Everything they made up with iron. Then silicon. Nowadays people are in future is nothing but this metamaterial as well as nanophotonics is the future. So this metamaterial is nothing but it's not readily available in nature. This metamaterial is completely artificial materials. Again, if you see the history, you will laugh actually. Normally, if you take any materials, natural material, it's having certain properties. Isn't it? You know, any material is having more than 50-60 properties. What are the properties? For example, if you take this plywood, or if you take any iron or any material, it's having electrical properties, chemical properties, physical properties, mechanical properties. I think so many varieties are there. Electrical property means what? Conductivity, resistivity, permittivity, permeability. Optical properties means what? Refractive index. So like that, so many properties are there. So if you look at all the properties, particularly this permittivity, permeability, refractive index, all the natural materials having positive value. So one scientist in 1960 is thinking, why all the materials having positive values? You know that's Snell's law. Snell's law you studied in school days itself. If you consider two medium, it's having different refractive index, it's having another refractive index. If the light propagates from one medium to another medium, what happening? Getting refraction. Some signal will be reflected, some is transmitted, refracted, etc. So like that, all the natural materials having positive values of refractive index, permittivity, permeability. Based on that only all the theories what you studied, Snell's law, Doppler's effect, and etc. Then Scan, like Scan gave, etc. That scientist 1960 is thinking, why material should not have negative properties? See his imagination. He's thinking why should not have negative, and he didn't stop within that. Again, his further is thinking, suppose the material have negative properties. How its other properties? What about Snell's law? What about Doppler's effect? What about refraction, reflection? Everything is thinking, and he is making one theory. It's completely what? Imagination. Instead of positive parameters, if it is having negative properties, how it will be? He make a theory. Then after that start, people are laugh against it. What is this guy? Nature is the powerful. He is simply wasting our time like that. Okay. And after 50 years, 2000, one group is taking that concept. So he makes some survey, he makes some imagination, he published on paper. Why could not try this one? Like that group, they are trying to get the negative permittivity, permeability like that. So that group achieved also. They create some structure, artificial structure. They are getting negative permeability. And another group seeing this one. They are trying with some structure. They are getting negative permeability. And third group is seeing these two works. He mixing that two structure. They are getting negative refractive index. So completely it's an artificial structure. It's having negative properties. You know what is the advantage of this metamaterial? For example, if you take like one glass, you know, na? So you just put a star in that. What will happen? The glass is empty. So pulley is nothing but like air only. If you put a star, from the top to bottom the star is looking like straight. Suppose in that glass, half of the glass you filled with water. If you put a star, what will happen? In that air, the star looking like straight. Inside water, how it will look? Some refraction, some kind of broken kind of thing. Look it in positive direction. Suppose that half of the glass filled with metamaterials, because that water having positive refractive index. Suppose filled with metamaterial, negative refractive index. What will happen? The star is bending at this opposite direction. See, this is the property invented and theoretically. Then people obtain in real time. After that, engineers, they are taking that concept, they are applying all the domains. For example, one of the application is, if I am wearing specs based on the negative material specs, you can see what are the things behind you. Because it's having opposite properties. If I am wearing the specs, I can see what is behind me. And this metamaterial used in cloaking application, that is nothing but invisible. If anything is, suppose this desktop is there, it's covered with metamaterial, it won't be visible to others. So that metamaterial only used in like movies, James Bond movies. James Bond car is what? It's not visible to others. And Harry Potter, one is teaches something, you will give some prize to him. If he wears the dress, it won't be visible to others. So many movies you can find. That is what? Metamaterial. Not only stars and things, people are using in defense application. For example, some Pakistan has some enemies, missiles are coming. So our missile is covered with metamaterial, what will happen? If you won't visible to them, not only that thing, radars also fail. Radars, how we find out the objects? It transmits the microwave signal. It falls on the object, it's reflect back. If this object is covered with metamaterial, this radar signal is come, it will just pass like this, bent over the object, it will go away. It won't reflect it back. Then how radar will work? So like that, so many things. Even I have a nice video also. This people laugh against it. What is this guy? Nature is the powerful. He is simply wasting our time like that. Okay. And after 50 years, 2000, one group is taking that concept. So he makes some survey, he makes some imagination, he published on paper. Why could not try this one? Like that group, they are trying to get the negative permittivity, permeability like that. So that group achieved also. They create some structure, artificial structure, they are getting negative permeability. And another group seeing this one, they are trying with some structure, they are getting negative permeability. And third group is seeing these two works. He mixing that two structure, they are getting negative refractive index. So completely it's an artificial structure, it's having negative properties. You know what is the advantage of this metamaterial? For example, if you take like one glass, you know, so you just put a star in that. What will happen? The glass is empty, so pulley is nothing but like air only. If you put a star, from the top to bottom the star is looking like straight. Suppose in that glass, half of the glass you filled with water. If you put a star, what will happen? In that air, the star looking like straight. Inside water, how it will look? Some refraction, some kind of broken kind of thing. Look it in positive direction. Suppose that half of the glass filled with metamaterials, because that water having positive refractive index. Suppose filled with metamaterial, negative refractive index. What will happen? The star is bending at this opposite direction. See, this is the property invented and theoretically. Then people obtain in real time. After that, engineers, they are taking that concept, they are applying all the domains. For example, one of the application is, if I am wearing specs based on the negative material specs, you can see what are the things behind you. Because it's having opposite properties. If I am wearing the specs, I can see what is behind me. And this metamaterial used in cloaking application, that is nothing but invisible. If anything is, suppose this desktop is there, it's covered with metamaterial, it won't be visible to others. So that metamaterial only used in like movies, James Bond movies. James Bond car is what? It's not visible to others. And Harry Potter, one is teaches something, you will give some prize to him. He wear the dress, he won't visible to others. So many movies you can find. That is what? Metamaterial. Not only staff and thing, people are using in defense application. For example, some Pakistan has some enemies, missiles are coming. So our missile is covered with metamaterial, not level. If you won't visible to them, not only that thing, radars also fail. Radars, how we find out the objects? It transmits the microwave signal. It falls on the object, it reflects back. If this object is covered with metamaterial, this radar signal is come, it like just pass like this, bent over the object, it will go away. It won't reflect it back. Then how radar will work? So like that, so many things. Even I have a nice video also. This together, same thing is happening now. IoT and RF, FSO, UWC, OSC, optical communication, everything is grouped together. Even so many research work is going on. This is one of the examples. See here, satellite is there, many RF communication devices are there. This is under ocean. So many sensors are there, underwater vehicles are there. Everything is what? Interconnected. So all the technologies are coming together. I'll put that video, then we can go for it, right? Just I'll show that video, then you can find the interesting thing. I'll give you this one. Where he applied, it's not visible. That's they use for what? Hunting purpose, or somehow animals are coming in, so avoid the things. For that they are using. This is maybe metamaterials exist in natural also. So like that, all the inventions are coming from nature only. Those who are living with nature, those who are enjoying the nature, they are capable to do research. They are capable to live in.
ने बोला कि बड़ा से बड़ा और छोटा से छोटा दोनों में फंक्शनिंग सेम है। तो गॉड की जो डेफिनेशन दी गई है इन गए वेदों में, अणु रणियान संस्कृत है, अणु रणियान, अणु मतलब अणु रणियान, अणु से भी छोटा, एंड महतो महीना जितना बड़ा हो सकता है उससे भी बड़ा, इसे डेफिनेशन होता है। सो दिस इज द थिंग, गॉड एंड साइंस बोथ आर द सेम। See, in my view, who is the rishi, or you can say, जैसे पहले ऋषि मुनि हुआ करते थे ना, who is the rishi of modern age? In my view, Abdul Kalam. If you see this humbleness, मैं शायद कभी क्लास में बोला होगा, अब्दुल कलाम कभी वो प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ पाकिस्तान आए थे, परवेज मुशर्रफ, और आगरा में घुमा रहे थे, तो अब्दुल कलाम हमेशा कह रहे थे आइए आइए जैसे सर्वेंट हो, और वो ऐसे चौड़े हो गए। सो अब्दुल कलाम वाज द मॉडर्न, और उन्होंने यही रियलाइज किया साइंस एंड स्पिरिचुअलिटी, धर्म नहीं, रिलीजन नहीं, स्पिरिचुअलिटी एंड साइंस बोथ आर द सेम।
Yeah, that's actually we know everything actually. One thing is we don't realize the thing. That is the matter actually. For example, nowadays we have so many technologies, but still we are struggling to do research on that. If you take olden days, they don't have any technology at all, but they identified 9 planets are there. That's why the Navagraha or something. They find out the colors of the planet also. Not only that thing, this mathematics is powerful. For example, Saturn means even the draw see something under they will tell. In that also, Saturn means it takes 7.5 years to rotate around the sun. That they identified that time itself. See, only thing is, if you sit in one place, if you focus your mind, everything you can realize. Everybody knows actually everything.
Also, size of atom has been predicted in way. Thing is that हमें अपने भारत की लेके भी रखना चाहिए, तो हम भूल गए, right?
So take away. After that session, mostly videos only. My speech will be less. Finally, we will discuss what kind of videos are available in this free space. Then you can realize.